everybody. Welcome to the Too Good to Be True podcast of the bonus Real Talk. I'm your host, Pascal Mayela. Yesterday we had a 2-game in the NBA playoff semifinals between the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves and the New York Knicks versus the Indiana Pacers. We're going to talk about it a couple of seconds. But if you like this podcast, do me a favor on YouTube. Like, subscribe, notify, leave your comment because it's very necessary. And if you like this podcast, follow this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and any platform you can find it and you can hear it. So I want everybody to enjoy this podcast. Now, let's talk about the Game 4 between the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. A great win for the Denver Nuggets, 115 to 107. Denver Nuggets. How can I resume that? The Denver Nuggets are playing like a true champion that is supposed to do. Remember, game one, they were a little bit unprepared against those Minnesota Timberwolves. In game 2, they got dismantled by them. By game 3, they solved each other to play very well. In game 4, just like they did the same thing in game 3. They played fantastic. Jokic, he didn't have a triple-double, but he had 35 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. He shot 15 of 26 in the field goal, 1 and 5 in the 3-point, and 4 out of 6 the free throws. And Jamal Murray, finally, this is what the Jamal Murray wanted to see. Even though he didn't have like a 20-plus point, he had 19 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals. He shot at 8 for 17 in the field goal, 3 out of 7 the 3 points, and was 0 in the free throw. And even though the bench did not really stepped up a little bit, but they contributed. But also, let's not forget, Aaron Gordon played phenomenal. 27 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. He shot for 11 for 12 in the field goal, and 2 out of 2 on the 3-point, and 2 out of 2 on free throws. So, how can I say that? How can I say this? If I could resume this game from the Nuggets, just like in Game 3, the Nuggets had controlled the lead from the beginning to the end. If you look at the second quarter, they shot 35 out of 25 from the Timberwolves in the second quarter. And then even though the Timberwolves were coming up to catch up with them, but there was no way the Minnesota Timberwolves could have regained the lead. So like I said, the Timberwolves right now they're 2-2, and they don't need to panic. Like I said, they don't need to panic. So for the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards got a phenomenal game. He had 44 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. He shot 16 out of 25 in the field goal, 5 and 8 out of 3-point. 7 out of 8 of the free throw line. compared to Karl Anthony Town, that he had 12 rebounds, he had 13.3 assists, 1 steal, 5 out of 18 in field goal, 1 and 4 in the 3-point, and 2 out of 4 in the free throw line. Karl Anthony, remember what I didn't say it on the podcast, but I'm gonna say it right now. That the X factor of the Timberwolves will be Karl Anthony Towns. And Karl Anthony Towns, or aka Cat, need to have the best game of his life in the second round. In the first 2 games, he had a great game, and in the second 2 games at home, he had a mediocre game. So Cat need to step up in Game 5 at Denver, because if they don't step up, the game that they will have of the best of their life will be vanished. Or I can say this, that the hope to go to the conference finals will be slipping out their hand. And that's pretty much my concern with the Cat, because sometimes he's inconsistent when he plays. But he's a second option on the team, but I can't blame it. I can't blame them. But if you look at a little bit at the field goal for the Timberwolves right now. If you look at the team stat I might have, I will say this. Denver in the field goal, they have 57% over Minnesota Timberwolves 47.6%. In the 3-point, 44 out of the 39 from the Denver Nuggets. 12 turnovers, that's not good. Or over 11 turnovers from the Timberwolves. Now, here's interesting. In the rebounding, Minnesota have 42 over Denver Nuggets 31. And I think if I think about the rebound, I think it's more about doing the defensive rebound over the offensive rebound. You got they're long, they're length, and they can they can grab the rebound thanks to Rudy Gobert. And you telling me, and I didn't talk that much about Rudy Gobert because he is what he is. He's like a third option. He doesn't need to score like 20-some points. His role is defense and block. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. About this game between the Wolves and the Nuggets. So I think they're gonna play on Wednesday, between Tuesday and Wednesday. But I'm not gonna be surprised about that. I'm surprised if the Nuggets are playing this well like that. Now, moving on from the Nuggets to Timberwolves, let's talk about the Mother's Day Massacre 2. And yesterday and actually Sunday, it was Happy Mother's Day in the United States and Canada. Happy Mother's Day to all of y'all. Yeah, Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers who contribute everything for us as kids to the day that we're born, and that they raised us to become a better person. So happy Mother's Day for all of y'all. Now, let's talk about the Mother's Day massacre between the Pacers and the New York Knicks. Pacer wins 121 to 89. Coming up this game, remember, if you watch Game 3, the Pacers in those two games, they were humble because you play in Madison Square Garden, and Madison Square Garden is a pretty loud environment in New York, in the Garden. So that Game 3, they were at home, and I talk about the Pacers, not the Knicks. The Pacers find a way to play who they were in the regular season. An offensive team, even though we all know in defense they suck. And that Game 3, they needed that win. That happened in Game 3. They won. Game 4, it's no difference. But actually, it's no different, but in a different way. They just blew the Nets out. I just want to say this. They just blew the Nets out. And Jalen Brunson, I know he's horrible. He didn't have his best performance. He had like 18 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. He shot for 6 and 17 on the field goal, 0 and 5 on the 3-point, 6 and 9 in the free throw line. And you just wonder yourself, is Tom Thibodeau playing too much his players in the regular season? And what I mean about that, I mean he's putting too much minutes on their playing time. And this is what my concern with Tom Thibodeau. It's the same thing that happened in Chicago. That he will play his starting five for like 40 plus minutes, 30 plus minutes before the playoff. And that was my concern, is fatigue. And all be told, he proved me right again. That injury will play a factor. And if you look at the roster, most of them are injured. I mean, Julius Randle is injured, Mitchell Robinson is injured, Bogdanov is injured, and who else is injured? Now, Jalen Brunson is horrible, and that's going to be my concern for the Game 5. And also, Josh Hart and DiVincenzo did not play very well also too. So Game 5 is a must-win for them. Now, for the Pacers, they had a phenomenal game. Tyrese Halliburton had a great game. 20 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. 8 for 15 on the field goal, 4 for 10 on the 3-point, and 0 on the free throw line. Pascal Siakam, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 7 and 9 in the field goal. Miles Turner got 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 5 out of 5 in the field goal, 3 out of 3 on the 2 points. I don't think I need to talk about the team stat, but because it's the podcast, because it is the playoff edition, we're going to talk about it. I mean, the Indiana Pacers dominated them in field goal, 3-point, rebound, and turnovers. And turnovers. Actually, they're equal in turnovers, so that's going to be a major concern for both teams. They need to start the turnover too much. But I got nothing to say about that. I got nothing to say. But Tom Thibodeau, let's talk about Tom Thibodeau a little bit. He said something on the press conference. I want you guys to hear it. So, here we go.
Look, we're disappointed, and the thing is we can't have a hangover. We got to fix it, and we have to come with a will and determination to respond to what happened. And I think that's the biggest thing. And this team has responded all year, so that's what we're expecting to do. We got to put the work into it and be ready to go. Look.
So you heard what he said. They need to work things out and play better in Game 5. So the Knicks are not afraid to respond. So that's all I'm gonna say about that team between the Knicks and the Pacers. So what do I expect for the next game? For between the Cavs and the Celtics and the Dallas vs. Thunder. For both teams, play exactly like they did. For the Celtics, they need to play exactly like they did in Game 3. And for the Thunder, and for the Mavs and Thunder. For Thunder, I know they're a young team. They're gonna figure it out. They're gonna find a way to win. Dallas is gonna find a way to win, playing the same way they did in Game 3. So that's all I gotta say for today. So if you like this podcast, like I said, follow this podcast on Amazon Music, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. I will put this video. Actually, not this video, but this little a bonus Real Talk Playoff edition on YouTube. So, like I said, on YouTube, like, subscribe, notify, and leave your comment. If you want to follow me on social media, follow me on X, formerly Twitter, at Belly versus BMM. On Threads, Pascal_Mayada_15. Same thing on Instagram, Pascal_Mayada_15. And I will say, I'm out.